The saying that records are meant to be broken has never been truer than in 2018. Throughout the course of the year, a number of special moments have taken place that have stood out because they didn't just challenge records, but broke them. Wrestling has always been pushing the envelope of the type of content it offers, and fans may have forgotten the records that were set this past year. For instance, Kofi Kingston now holds the record for the most days as a tag team champion in WWE history. However, a number of other records that were set or broken in 2018 have yet to be mentioned. Which ones were they? Who broke or set these records, and when did this happen? Here are 10 records achieved or broken in 2018. One of the greatest achievements this past year in wrestling was WWE's Evolution pay-per-view in October. Evolution featured 50 women from both Raw and SmackDown who competed at the event. It also included faces from the past that were featured in matches such as the Women's Battle Royal. This event also had prominent matches such as Ronda Rousey vs Nikki Bella for the WWE Raw Women's Championship and Becky Lynch vs Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship. These championship bouts were met with mixed reactions. While the SmackDown Last Woman Standing match was highly regarded, the Raw Women's Championship match appeared to be lacking a bit. It wasn't a bad match, but it didn't receive the same acclaim as the SmackDown Women's match. The event was considered a success and was another first for the women in the promotion, for them to be featured in such a prominent role. When it was announced at the tail end of 2018 that the match would take place, it was a highly anticipated first and quite an achievement. Like the men's match, it was in fact a 30-woman Royal Rumble with the same time intervals and over-the-top rope stipulation. Initially, it was up in the air whether it would be a 20 or 30-woman match, but the decision on 30 certainly suggested that the women were seen in the same light as the men. The matchup included WWE Hall of Famers like Molly Holly and Jacqueline, along with current WWE superstars such as Ruby Riott and Becky Lynch. With the women's champions Alexa Bliss and Charlotte sitting at ringside, the match came down to a final four of the Bella Twins, Sasha Banks and Asuka. They battled feverishly to be victorious. It would ultimately end up as Nikki Bella and Asuka being the final two. The winner was ultimately Asuka, who would later challenge Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Among the many records achieved over the course of the year, one of the most interesting has been the transition of a noted MMA star into a WWE champion. Former UFC champion Ronda Rousey has worked a great deal to be ready for her move from the octagon to the squared circle. She may have faced a great deal of criticism, but has also received well-deserved accolades. She remains committed to her craft and continues to develop. Rousey has done a few different things besides MMA, including acting. However, today she stands atop the Raw Women's division as its champion. Her ascent to the top has shown what comes with hard work, dedication, and marketability. This achievement is one of the many that revolve around WWE's women's division. It is a division that continues to do more and will soon move beyond this discussion of first times. While Brock Lesnar is the current Universal Champion after defeating Braun Strowman for the vacant title at Crown Jewel, it isn't this reign that is being talked about here. Prior to losing the title to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam this past August, Lesnar had set a new modern-day record for holding a top title in WWE. While he didn't break Bruno Sammartino's 4,000-plus day record for holding the world title, he surpassed CM Punk's championship reign of 434 days, which spanned from November of 2011 to January of 2013. During his first reign, Lesnar held the title for an impressive 504 days. Lesnar is also recognized as having held the WWE title for a total of 578 days. While we aren't sure if it is a record that will soon be broken, fans know one thing as it pertains to the Universal Championship. Lesnar continues to add to his record for total aggregate days holding the title, which currently stands at 520 days and counting. On September 1st of 2018, Matt and Nick Jackson along with Cody came together to present All In. The event was held at the Sears Center outside Chicago, Illinois, and it was seen as a huge success and involved countless names involved in the business from Japan and North America. Some of the biggest names today were showcased during this event, as everyone from Okada to Chris Jericho had a role. It sold out in what was believed to be 90 seconds after tickets became available. What is remarkable about the sellout is that it was the first non-WWE show to do so in 20 years. While the venue held over 10,000 seats, it didn't lack at all in meeting all the hopes for attendance. The streaming feed was a little shaky, but by all accounts that didn't prevent the show from being considered wildly successful. Ring of Honor is a promotion that usually runs shows in venues that have around 1,000 or so seats. The promotion has been in operation for nearly 17 years and has been the home to some of the greatest talents of the 21st century. Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and CM Punk have at one time or another called ROH their home. This year, Ring of Honor announced that it would be co-promoting an event with New Japan in 2019 at the world-renowned Madison Square Garden. When it was announced that the event had sold out the venue, it represented a huge achievement. This is the first time a non-WWE promotion had sold out Madison Square Garden in 50 years. The Ayatollah of Rock and Roll and one of the best in the world, Chris Jericho continues to make himself as relevant today as he ever has been in the world of pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is a place where moments are made, and Jericho has continued to create moments today just as he has throughout his career. As someone who continues to reinvent himself, he continues to hold championships, or at least be valued as a top contender when he is without a title. He is currently the record holder in WWE for the most Intercontinental title reigns at 9. This record is currently closely pursued by another former IC champion, The Miz. While The Miz is second with 8 title reigns to Jericho's 9 in WWE, there is a little more distance between the two if you look internationally. After defeating Naito, Jericho captured the IWGP Intercontinental title, bringing his current total of Intercontinental title reigns to 10 and counting. Fans of New Japan today know that the promotion has a number of notable talent. However, one that stands out above the rest is the Rainmaker Okada. He has been one of the promotion's most crucially important performers of the last decade. That importance was cemented during his time as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. The title is held in high regard as it isn't defended as frequently as some world titles are today. Okada brought even more value to the championship as he took on any and all comers. This past June, he unfortunately lost the title in a best 2 out of 3 falls match with longtime rival Kenny Omega at Dominion. The match was highly regarded and was in excess of an hour in duration. That loss ended what has been a record-setting reign as champion. Okada held that title for 720 days, a record for the IWGP title, falling just 10 days shy of the 2-year anniversary of winning the championship. It was a remarkable accomplishment. As mentioned, during Okada's time as champion, he took on any and all comers. After defeating AJ Styles to recapture the heavyweight title at Dominion in 2015, Okada went on to hold the title for 720 days. However, that period of time that he held the belt isn't the only record he managed to achieve. At Wrestling Dontaku 2018, Okada would defeat his greatest rival in Tanahashi. The win was not just another title defense for the Rainmaker, as it set a new record for the number of title defenses. By winning in his 12th title defense, he broke the record which had been set by his opponent Tanahashi. It was another classic battle between these two men and once again showed the chemistry they have with one another. During Okada's reign, he was clearly a dominant champion. One of the most notable names in wrestling today is third-generation wrestling superstar Tessa Blanchard. She continues to earn a name for herself on the independent circuit and in Impact Wrestling as well. This year, Blanchard proved her commitment to wrestling by facing some of the greatest names in wrestling today. On October 20th of 2018, she achieved another first, as she wrestled the longest women's match ever, 75-minute Iron Woman match against Mercedes Martinez while competing for Rise. During the promotion's Insanity show, Blanchard and Martinez broke a record that had been set by Martinez and Lexis, who is the wife of Impact Wrestling's Eddie Edwards, in 2011. The record has been 73 minutes and was set when these two women were competing for Women's Superstars Uncensored. This achievement is another example of how Blanchard has come to the forefront of wrestling today. Rise is noted as being a prominent women's wrestling promotion, as is evidenced by its featuring 2 of the most popular women's wrestlers on the circuit in Martinez and Blanchard. These are 10 wrestling records that were broken in 2018. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching Wrestling Hub, and I'll see you later with more videos.